So there's a lot of uncertainty, as we've been saying, about where the country's heading under this administration. And apparently George Clooney just sat down with Patty LuPone, and they talked about their predictions of where they think we're going to go from here. Take a look.
It's fine. We're going to get through it. I am a...
Do you think so?
I'm an optimist. Oh, yeah.
See,
oh,
I'm
yeah.
a half... I'm a half...
You're
a
half
glass,
empty?
I'm a glass half
Well,
empty.
you've been around long enough to remember 1968. Every city in the United States was on fire. It's not nearly as hopeless as it was at that moment in time. The authoritarian, the demagogue, it goes away when they go away, and he will go away. And we will, and they don't have anybody that's as charismatic as him. He's charismatic. There's no taking that away from him. He's a television star. I'm an optimist about all of that.
I'm so glad you are.
And I believe in it. I believe.
So let me first say, you know George is on Broadway. That's why his hair is black.
Yeah.
Okay. I just felt, because when I looked, I thought, uh-oh. But then I was reminded.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, you know, what do you think of what they were
Well,
saying?
as much as I'd like to take $5,000 and have a baby with George Clooney,
There you go.
I must disagree with him. I have to disagree with him.
Yeah.
Because I was around during those days, and I remember exactly what happened. They were assassinating leaders of the country, Martin Luther King, John Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, etc. There was a tremendous discord in the country. People were rioting against the Vietnam War. My husband now had to go into the National Guard. It was a terrible time for people.
Yeah.
And that is true. And we did get through that. But right now, we're talking about the lack of a constitutional republic. We're talking about no checks and balances. We're talking about the fact that half the country watches fake news. We're talking about the fact that the Republicans at that time got rid of Nixon, and the Republicans were not complicit in this charade that's going on with Trump right now, and just rubber stamping every illegal thing that he does. So that's why we survived it, because the Constitution and the country held up in those days. It is not holding up now. So, George, I still love you, but you're wrong.
I agree.
Thank you.
With you. In general, I'm not a glass half empty person. I try to be pretty optimistic, but I am also a realist. And to your point, Joy, we are in the middle of a constitutional crisis. I don't care what anybody says. And there are facts to back that up. There's been a benchmark survey. U.S.-based professors rate the performance of American democracy on a scale from 0, which is a complete dictatorship, to 100, which is a perfect democracy. At this point, in Trump's second term, that figure is now 55.
Well, yay,
so
55.
On a scale
We got at least 55.
Glass is half full as I see it.
it's 55. But if you think about it, the indicators of a democratic performance, including whether or not the government interferes with the press, punishes political opponents, whether the legislature and the judiciary can check executive authority, it's not happening.
But he couldn't get away with it because the Republican Party stopped him.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
I don't have much to add to this other than I went to the opening of Good Night and Good Luck, and it's exquisite, and it's an important story for our time because it talks about Edward R. Murrow and him pushing back on McCarthyism. So it's an expensive ticket, but if you can see it, I recommend it.
I have to believe that you always say, life cycles, we get through this stuff. I can't exist or live if tomorrow's doomsday. So regardless of what's happening, everything I've learned in history from this point on says we get through things. I believe in the country. I believe we're watching some things hold, from courts to there are people speaking up now, there are people protesting. Those are all indicators that the country is working. It may not feel like it right now.
Don't misunderstand me. I'm an optimist. And I believe
that was your optimistic take?
Yes. I'm an optimist, I am, because I believe that we will eventually pull ourselves out of this, but we have to keep speaking about it.
That's where I am.
We have to keep resisting. You know what? There were millions of people marching on the weekend. I did not see any of it on any of the TV shows.
No, it wasn't. And I will also say this. This is a taste for, oh, God.
Go ahead. Knock it out.
This is a taste of what it's like to be other in this country. People are recognizing what it is like to be other because now we're all other. So
that's right.
We must make sure we continue to get out and
Resist.
speak out and resist, because unless we do this together, we're going down, y'all. Unless we stand up and say, hey, I'm looking out for you, you're looking out for me, because this is our country. We beat it up, we can say what we need to say, and right now it's still legal to have an opinion in the United States of America.